Hello, my name is Nadja Tao, and I've been doing a series of conversation starter questions that are usually philosophical or hypothetical in nature. Today, the question is, if you were a ghost, which celebrity's house would you haunt just for fun? This question is from breathetoinspire.com. And as you can see from the leaves, I'm shooting in a new location and it's fall. And I just thought that this question was very seasonally appropriate. But it is weird shooting in public. I'm in a cafe right now. But I feel as though something in this question implies that it would be more interesting to follow around a celebrity. And I don't know about that. But I think the only things you can probably do as a ghost are following somebody around or pulling little minor pranks on them. And the pranks usually don't seem friendly. They usually seem kind of malicious. I guess they're Casper the Friendly Ghost is maybe an exception, but I don't remember much about Casper. So, considering how most ghosts, you associate ghost pranks with something kind of mean or malicious, if I were to prank somebody, they'd probably have to have at least done something kind of malicious towards me personally. And I don't know any celebrities, and I probably never will. So, I mean, following is probably most of what I would do instead of pulling pranks. I mean, there's a chance that I could follow around various celebrities and find one that's doing something kind of evil. I don't know, like P. Diddy or something, and maybe pranking them could be a warning that something beyond just the human is watching. But even then, I have a really hard time getting upset with somebody who's never interacted with me, so I don't really understand celebrity hate and that kind of thing. Also, I don't really understand what the rules are to being a ghost. How long am I going to be a ghost for? I feel as though being a ghost implies that you're not truly in the afterlife and you're just kind of attached to Earth for some reason. And I would think it would get kind of boring to spend years and years and years and years just observing and never interacting. I mean, going back to the friendly ghost thing, if you were a ghost doing friendly pranks, wouldn't that make you more of a guardian angel? Or like a spirit guide or something? But anyway, I'd rather haunt somebody who can kind of illuminate some kind of mystery that escaped me during life. Something I never understood during life. Following around these people will fill in those gaps for me. And when I think of a celebrity, I think of a movie star. And I think of somebody who just rehearses lines all day. And I just don't think that would be very interesting to watch. Unless you could crawl inside their heads and experience what they're experiencing. And maybe you could do that as a ghost. But in most movies, ghosts can't read thoughts or experience what somebody else is experiencing. So I'm assuming I would just be like a human that doesn't read thoughts, that is just kind of invisible, moves through walls, that kind of thing. I think the main value to observing a celebrity is either to exploit that information by selling it, or you can just brag about the encounter or brag about that secret information that you have. But I'm assuming that other ghosts would have just as much access to this celebrity as I would. Of course, you could also befriend a celebrity, but you can't do that as a ghost, I don't think. I mean, unless it was some special situation in which you could reveal yourself to the person. But yeah, I think it would be more interesting to observe somebody like a police officer or nurse, or maybe somebody on the edge of being a celebrity, like a film director, or maybe even a YouTuber would be more interesting than watching somebody just rehearse the same lines over and over and over again. Maybe even more, like a homeless person or somebody in jail would be more interesting to watch. I mean, I don't think people appreciate how boring acting is. It's really fun to watch a movie, but it's not fun, in my opinion, to act. Yeah. And I'm assuming that we're observing celebrities who are current. So I couldn't observe a dead celebrity. So considering that it has to be a current celebrity, I think I'd haunt Tom Holland. I was thinking of haunting a comedian, but comedians are writers, and so much of being a writer is internal. I would think that a lot of the time I'd just be watching them think, or watching them edit. I mean, a big Netflix comedian would be my second choice, just because that's an interest that I had when I was alive. But, a musician, haunting a musician could be really interesting, just because you don't really get tired of a song that you like. I mean, I'm still listening to the same songs I listened to when I was 12. I know not everyone is like that, but I think a lot of people are like that. But I'd haunt Tom Holland first, because he seems so pleasant in demeanor, and it would be interesting to see how people who seem really perfect, rich, nice, charming people truly live their lives, in contrast to the public persona that they've created. What are the challenges and struggles that he faces? What's his fatal flaw? And he seems so careful. He and Zendaya both seem so careful about what they say in public that I'd be really interested to see what they say when they think no one's looking. But more than haunting a particular celebrity, I think it would be fun to compare celebrities. Celebrities who went broke with celebrities who stayed rich, pleasant ones with unpleasant ones, lifelong successes with stars that burned out. So I'd haunt Tom Holland for a while, but I'd have to keep moving on, and hopefully I'd move on to heaven or something, because haunting the earth for decades on end, that just doesn't sound appealing to me. But I do have to wonder what I'd learn about humanity from watching celebrities. So if you have any comments to anything I've said, or if you have an answer of your own to the question, if you were a ghost, which celebrity's house would you haunt just for fun? Leave those messages in the comments section. And yeah, let me know if I should bring back the coloring, or if changing locations was a good idea. Okay, I hope to see you in another video. Bye.